Okay, so now we're going to talk about the Zoom client. This is the actual download that you need to bring onto your machine in order to host a Zoom meeting. Your participants don't need to do this download, but this is for anyone that's going to be hosting, they absolutely need to download the client. So you would head to zoom.us/download and download the version, if you're running a Mac or a PC, download the correct version. And then it's going to look like this, right? So it's going to be a little kind of desktop application that's persistent. Again, it's got that picture that you would have uploaded before. It shows if you're online, or you can set yourself to being busy as well. And from the client, you can actually start a Zoom meeting with video, start a Zoom meeting without video if you wanted to for some reason. You can schedule meetings directly from here, or you could even join a meeting directly from here. And when you're starting a meeting directly from here, that again is going to be using your personal meeting ID that we talked about before. There is a bottom ribbon as well that has, the home tab, which we're looking at now, meetings, contacts, and chats, and we'll get into some of those, but not all of them, just based on kind of the use case for Appalachian. And then there's a little settings gear at the top, which we're going to dive into first real quick. So the general settings, a few things that you do want to look through when you're first getting set up, if you're using dual monitors, if you have a preference that anytime you join a meeting or start a meeting, it's automatically putting you into the full screen mode. If you want it to scale to fit, if you always want to display the action buttons. So if some of you notice there are specific action buttons around the mute and stop video, which you actually usually have to move your mouse to have them pop up. If you want, you can select that so that they're always present. Some chat message options as well. I'd say probably the most important one to test out and kind of at least configure when you first download Zoom is around the audio settings here. You have the ability to test, your speaker, and choose from a drop-down if you have multiple options. So if you're wanting it to come through your headset, like I'm using the Plantronics, or if you're wanting it to go through your desktop computer, definitely make sure you test this to have your audio settings configured correctly. And much like the output, and you can also select kind of the microphone. Which microphone do you want to use? It can tell you like how clear it's coming through or not. And other options like always mute yourself when you're joining a meeting if for whatever reason you don't want to worry about it, what you may be rattling papers or something, who knows, or typing, you can have yourself automatically muted as soon as you join a meeting. There are video settings that you can do as well. So right here's a little button for video. Again, you can select a specific camera. So my setup here, I'm actually using a webcam that's on my off of my monitor, and not the webcam that's directly in my laptop. So you can set your webcam, and then you have different effects that you could put on. So this is kind of that recording information. This is where you can actually set your destination for those meetings that you do record and store locally. The default folder is going to be, users, first name, documents /Zoom. It'll create that folder, and then similar if you're on Windows. And you can always change that, right? You can set it any location you want, but this is one of those places to go when you are starting to do those recordings, just to make sure you know where they're dropping into. Okay, so taking a quick look at the client again, we're now going to run through the bottom section here. So if you click on the meetings icon, what you'll see is upcoming meetings. So this is another place other than going to the web portal where you can actually see meetings that you've got scheduled. And at the top, it doesn't really look like a scheduled meeting, but you've also always got your personal meeting up here as well. And you can set it. You can always use your personal meeting ID for any instant messages on the specific computer that you've got the client downloaded. So anytime you're going to do a meeting from that computer, it will, again, be using that link, which is a great way to have that persistent connection if you need it. And then, again, your scheduled meetings. Oops. You also have the ability to, if you click the recorded little button, it then shows you the recorded sessions that you've done. And this, there are some cloud recordings here in this example we've got set, but you'll notice there's the top and the bottom are actually local for this user. So this is another place you don't actually have to direct yourself to that specific folder, but you could go here and you can actually play the meeting directly from here if you wanted to kind of see the recording. So it's a great way to look into it.